Okay. Let me know when you're making your character.
Adventuring north?
Adventuring north. Okay. Name.
He doesn't really know what he's doing.
That was our grave. This is Aldrich.
It won't let me enter a name.
He's a big slug, man. He ate so many people, he became Coop.
Ooh.
And not that very famous celebrity brand of bathwater. Oh.
Okay.
Free for all Dark Souls, the boss.
Enter
Also,
name.
one of the coolest fucking weapons in the entire game, in my opinion.
It's not popping up a keyboard for me. Oh, that's because I'm stupid. Kronk the Second. Okay, my class is Knight. Knight, undead, face, a shield. It looks like a spear. Undead skeleton, shoulders. Mercenary, the hand sickle, and a buckler.
Sorry, you do you. I'm lost in the opening cinematic. I haven't watched this thing in so long, but I play this game so much. And I mean, if the stream's recording it,
I have your stream pulled up simultaneously on top of my stream.
Nice.
So like we see both screens. That's why I asked you to stream and pop it out, I can pop it out.
Oh, this was a hidden mechanic in Dark Souls 3. They made the cutscene before the final edit of the game. You used to drag the dead bodies of special enemies and stab them with a coiled sword to create your own bonfires anywhere in the game.
Yeah, that's not broken.
Well, they played with it a lot. They just couldn't find a way to make it work. And also, if you only had limited bonfires, they want you to waste time dragging people. But the remnants of that is in that cutscene, and when you kill Yorm and you get the coiled sword and bury it into the Firelink Shrine, that was supposed to be the first time you do that. And then you could do that with bodies afterwards.
Nice. So, my knight is vastly different. Do you have, for your knight, do you have 12 vigor, 10 attunement?
Yeah, the stats should be the same. The items they have should be different.
Yeah, so like for my mercenary, I have a one-handed sickle, a buckler shield.
No.
It looks like the dancer cowl, and then the.
Okay, hold on. I got bad news.
Yeah.
This is the exact same choices I had when my test randomizer was.
Oh, this is not, and this is completely different than what you have.
Yeah, what you have is different. Let's just pick, join in, and see if we can still join each other's worlds.
Yeah. God, the fucking wooden mallet. Alright, I'm picking
It's a fun one. I'm doing this because it's got the things I like.
Okay. Sun Princess Ring, Sigbrew, Prism Stone, Dung Pile, Blessed Gem, Black Firebomb, Binoculars, Rubbish, Pale Tongue.
I wish I could fucking see your stream right now. Is there any way I can do that? There isn't. There is! At a delay, but there is!
Well, no, Parker. Hold on. I just shared it through Discord.
I appreciate that. I can't do that.
Oh.
I can do nothing. Once this randomizer is launched, I can't touch anything anymore. I did that other screen thing, but then it immediately went back to full screen.
Okay.
Don't worry, I have a second laptop right here. I'm going to join you on Twitch so I can see the delayed, and also I can do my my L joke. Maybe I won't. We don't have time.
No, we have time. We have like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Maybe for you.
Yeah. I'm gonna choose the fucking Sun Princess Ring.
It gradually heals you. It's a good choice. Oh, you're talking about the gifts. I thought you were listing off classes.
No, the gifts.
Oh yeah, that's a great opening gift.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need Pale Tongues. You don't need Sigbrew.
Roll for class. No. No.
Oh, okay. I'm in. Hacker voice. I'm in.
Roll for everything.
I can see everything on Twitch now.
Yeah.
At a delay.
Do you like how I have it set up for us?
Yeah, that looks pretty sick.
It took me a hot
topography map underneath us.
It took me a hot minute to slap this together.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna treat this like the real start of our game, but we don't know if this is actually going to work.
Yeah, I'm going to finalize my creation.
Let me see the burial glyphs just in case. Some princess ring, very strong.
Some princess, sig brew, prism, dung pile, blessed gem, black firebomb, binoculars, rubbish, pale tongue.
Yeah, you don't need any of those.
Yeah.
And you like the class you started with? You like all the items? You like all the...
It's going to have to work.
Well, the class, you like the weapons you're starting with?
Yeah, mercenary, the knight's a halberd, and I think the sungrass shield?
No, it isn't.
But it's got a really nice chest piece. Warrior is hatchet and silver knight shield.
What do you mean you don't know? You know everything.
Pickaxe for Herald. Thief is just... it's
Hold on,
good.
do we have the same stuff?
No. You're on Thief? No, this is my Thief.
I'm also on Thief. I'm going to wait till Twitch confirms it. Oh, okay, so we are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also good just looking at the spells and other stuff that they get, because sometimes you'll start out with really good spells. Alright, I'm picking mine.
I picked mine.
Name. You did what? Kronk second edition?
I did Kronk da second.
Okay, who am I going to be? I don't know who I'm going to be. Randomizers are like that.
Bullshit go.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Keyboard. Took me a second too.
No, I picked the wrong. I switched keyboards so I could have a mouse.
I was like, wait a second. The keyboard isn't popping up. Okay, dumbass. The keyboard's in front of your face.
That took a while to hit you. Oops.
Oh, come on, computer. I plugged in a keyboard. Oh, because I plugged into the fucking dude. I'm not used to having fancy shit anymore. I don't know how any of this works. If I put it here, can I type?
I don't know. Yes.
Okay, I can. I have 9 more USB ports than I've ever had in my life.
Wait till you have to deal with different versions. USB 2.0, USB Type-C, USB 3.0. Wait till you have to deal with that shit.
Yeah, it seems like it.
What is it? What's your name?
A dream I had. Let's see if I can do once. Nope. A dream I had.
A dream.
Yeah, because this is a dream that I've had before, and I'm really excited to make it happen.
Okay,
and even if it doesn't, I can do a dream I had too. Okay.
Okay, this is going to probably hurt us a lot. Okay.
I mean, this will probably hurt a lot for you. Okay, more bad news.
What?
So far, the enemy arrangement is the same from when I played it before. I'm just gonna take that for fun. I'm going immediately to the next bonfire to get the summon stuff. And see if I could just summon you.
Okay.
Or you summon me. If not, we're gonna have to try to redo the randomization settings.
I had to do the Estus Flask. Giant fly, no. Run to bonfire. So you had thief, then tree, thief, then fly.
No.
Okay, so that's.
I had somebody from the Ariendel DNC, one of the Corvids. I had some other guy I ran past. Okay.
Okay. Inventory. I haven't got it yet.
No?
Oh, there it is. I had to rest at it.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Open you, and I'll try to join.
Opening. Because if we're using the same seamless, then you should just use the same password and everything that we've done. All right, I am open.
Yes. Okay, I watched you do it. Hey!
Hey!
Hey! Okay. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah! See, I started with the dancer cowl. I thought that was dope as fuck.
Dude, I don't think
Oh,
that's the
fuck, that's a knight.
Ditzer cow. But it's the ring knight armor. Yeah, that's this freak.
Oh, when he's red-eyed. Parker.
Yo, it's who I am.
Parker, what are you doing?
Oh no, we're desynced. We got different people. We're not synced up with our enemies.
Oh.
The randomizer failed.
So it's not the knight. It's
All right,
not a red-eyed knight for you?
No, I killed the guy that it was for me. I don't see the person. I see it on Twitch. It's not on my screen.
Oh, fucking Christ. Okay.
Let's see if can I hurt him?
No.
I can't hurt him.
I'm about to die.
It's okay. We need to restart anyway.
Oh, damn it.
I mean, the only thing I could think of is uninstall the randomizer, then reinstall it.
Okay, so I'm looking at a red-eyed knight. That's not who you...
No, I'm not. I'm not at all. Our enemies are different, and we can't engage in each other's enemies. But I can see you.
A knight with a spear and a shield?
Duncan, look at Twitch.
Oh, you do not have
Watch,
the same
watch.
person.
I'm about to beat the shit out of somebody.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Whoops. Okay.
Yeah, you see that? That's what I'm dealing with.
Okay. So... Fuck. What did we do? What did we do wrong?
We quit, delete the file. For you, I think uninstall and reinstall the randomizer. Because you don't have one of the concurrent files.
Fuck. Alright. Sending you home. System. Quit game. So.
Oh, big angry boy.
Actually, you know what? Let's try one
No.
thing.
No, I'm not turning it off, Waz.
Oh god.
Okay.
My PC is different now.
Yep. So.
Hold on. Don't do anything yet, Duncan.
Okay.
I think what went wrong may be on my end.
And you have the overall seed.
Launch it again through the randomizer.
Okay. It's still pulled up.
Restart your game. Restart game.
All right. It's still up. My game is still up.
This guy's so bad. Oh man.
Yay! Technical difficulties.
I don't know. I guess because Coda got a save. Poor guy. No.
Oh, there's no audio.
1, 3. Okay. I only saw 1.
Okay.
That's okay.
I'll need you to reshare the screen again.
Fuck.
Or just pull the stream up, yeah, because it's showing just the stream has ended.
Oh man.
What?
I got a really good randomized thing. I got the full Solaire armor in one of them. Oh, that hurts. Okay, man. To fucking talk about what could have been.
I know. Hey, it might come up again.
I'm exposed. I can't.
Yeah, of course. Fuck.
If I do that, I will go down too. Because he's just chilling over there by him.
Yes, keep settings.
The
No.
C is the
I'm gonna go
207.
down. Oh my god,
This.
never mind.
Yes.
This guy's just really
Okay.
bad.
Share screen. Dark Souls.
There. Okay.
Oh my god,
Okay.
go.
I'm going to just.
Go.
Everything still look good on your side?
Yeah, I'm launching, loading in the world.
I'm aware.
Okay.
I see that.
I'm still right here.
Well, you can't do anything.
I'll just wait at the bonfire.
He's letting me out.
Indeed. I won't watch it this
He's
time.
just really dumb.
A second dream.
Bro, there's nothing.
I only have so many characters. Okay.
Oh man.
Young.
Oh.
I mean, yeah. Oh, look how fucking badass that is.
Oh.
That looks fucking sick. But I hate that group spirit.
sorcerer.
I don't. That was really funny.
Deprived's just deprived with a different hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I just gotta be a Sumbro,
Okay.
even though it's. I mean, that's a harsh class, but I fucking love that armor.
I know.
All these weapons. Ooh,
Start with a katana.
That's the Chaos Blade, or the Black Blade.
It's pretty good for a mercenary class.
I don't care about those. That's I. Oh, the spells I get as a wizard blow chunks.
I think it should have been him because he was already Deathhook, but he could have.
Okay, yeah. There's really only one good choice. If this works.
Then, yeah.
Oh, your camera goofed up, Parker.
That was my bad.
Oh no!
I'm looking at the ceiling.
Oh, this camera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could do chaos, but I don't have the ember. I'm doing hidden because I know at least that'll give me something in
Well, I wanted to make sure though that
oh, I don't have
so it didn't really matter if I ended up
oh, there's no way to change your face afterwards. I'm gonna do the minimum. I'm gonna do the minimum.
Alright, I have Hood of Prayer, Dark Armor, Fire Witch Gauntlets, and Desert Pyromancer Skirt. And then Warrior's Round Shield and the Crescent Moon Sword. That's what I have as my gear. You're just gonna go straight Deprived and play it from there?
Straight to what?
Deprived?
No, I'm doing customizations. Sorry, I'm gonna do real quick. I have a way I like it, and I'm giving you the. Normally, I do all of this ahead of time.
It's a hillbilly. And he immediately found me.
230, 80, 60. I should do 230, 80, 40. Fuck. That's why I say it out loud.
I'm sorry.
230, 80, 40.
I do want to have the conversation, but right now I'm currently in chase. Oh, okay, I found him off on someone else.
I'm just running around the bonfire in a circle.
I agree with you.
I appreciate that.
is kind of silly, but I don't know. Natsu's not even my favorite dragon.
And I have the world open.
Ooh, he got me. Just going directly back for y'all.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, he is behind you. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay, short bow, whatever, round shields, medium. Yeah, everything else will be fine.
Okay, you have the same.
I got a tree and a
Okay.
thief.
That's what I had.
And then a bug. That's the bug
That-
you talked about.
Yep.
Oh no, Coda.
Okay, I'm with you.
The saves, Coda. Coda, you have
I'm hitting the
to.
bonfire, then we're going to backtrack and grab all those items. Or really do whatever you want.
Or basically join my world because I already have the world up.
Yeah, I'm saying after that.
You gotta rest.
I did it.
Yay.
I know you're looking at a delay. Join.
Did we get long rest?
No.
Hey, welcome, bug.
Hey, Bailey.
I'm here. I'm just in and out. I've had a long freaking weekend.
Yeah,
That's all
yesterday.
good.
Yesterday was a big day for you.
For the inaugural session. Hey!
Hey.
All right, let's go kill one thing to see if we're on the same page.
Yeah. Knight with red eyes should be right down here. Yep.
Okay, I see him. Let's not do that. We saw him. We're good.
All right. Backtrack.
Do you want to backtrack, or you want to just run for the boss?
Let's backtrack and get. See, it's random. We have to fucking kill and do everything. Ow.
Oh man, I hate this dagger. I got a parrying dagger as my starting weapon.
Oh, blood loss.
So, yeah, man, I wish it had a torch. Hey, freak.
Oh, I'm dead. That was quick. Blood loss is a bitch.
Is so stupid.
Oh no, because we got hit by the bug guy. He
Yeah.
puts parasites on us that build bleed damage until we burn it off with a torch. Okay,
Well.
so maybe we shouldn't explore this yet.
No, just fucking, just bum rushes that bitch ass.
Okay, I spawned back at my grave.
I did too. Oh, he's dead. Oh.
Oh man.
Come follow me.
I'm
There's
right
an item
behind
back
you.
here. It should
I'm
be a
right
soul of an undead warrior, but it's a large titanite. Can you also see this?
Yep. Gundir's armor.
Excellent.
It's random for both of us. I got Gundir's armor.
But that stick! I mean, we're already pimping some pretty sick, nasty stuff with your Dark Wraith, my son, bro.
It's the dark
But
armor.
that's a good heavy plate if you want to put it on.
That's every fucking plate. It
I know what you love.
It goes, yeah, buddy. I'm gonna have to hold on to it for now.
This dude found.
I will fat roll like a motherfucker. Where the fuck you go?
He has to have an.
Did you go
I'm
Crystal
fighting
Lizard?
a guy from the DLC, one of the hermits.
Oh.
And Coda can't hear the sound
got him.
of.
There's there's a
By the way.
big fucker.
Yeah, the tree guy from the swamp.
Can't hear it.
I mean, we're just starting. If we run past them, there should be 2 items and 1 enemy past them.
Maybe. Okay. Run, 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 run!
Dodge rolling through the swamps a bit faster, but you do you.
I still made it. Crystal Lizard.
Hey, vanilla, strangely.
And no. Lightning Storm. Oh, get back.
Hey, I got a staff. I think the game is trying to make me a witch.
Ow. Ouch. Parker, you're pushing him to me.
I do fucking 19 damage. I fucking nothing.
Okay, swap with me. I'm better on the damage scale.
Okay.
Pull aggro.
I'm trying. Come here, you freak. I could dodge you all fucking day.
Okay, I gotta heal. Okay, I'm up. I do 23 a swipe.
Ooh, he's staggered. You could visceral. We missed
Nope.
it, but that's fine. We still got this.
Parker.
We got this. Even if I die trying, you got this. Finish him.
Got it. I got the spike shield.
Got the drop.
What, Twinkling Titanite?
Yeah.
I got a spike shield. See, this is what I wanted.
Okay, so enemy drops are randomized to some extent.
Good. And now I have to go back.
I mean, maybe for you, not for me. Hey,
Yeah,
I can be
yeah.
your bodyguard. I'm coming.
Well, no, I have swamp.
Oh, you have
dude.
to run past that dude.
Yeah.
You might die running past that guy.
I made it.
They're very hard
Go to the
to-
bonfire. Go to the fucking bonfire.
Yeah. They'll follow you forever too,
Yeah.
because they're meant for the swamp.
And whatever fucking this is what we wanted. Okay.
We gotta throw some of these.
That's right. Alright.
All right, let's clean up shop over here.
Ow.
This guy normally drops a raw stone.
But this,
If he's the one that's from right before the dancer boss fight.
oh, he hits hard.
He's a red eye.
I got nothing.
Hey, we killed him once. That should all we care about. Okay, let's go get this bad boy.
Okay.
Oh,
What'd you
more
get?
sick drip.
I got
I got the Undead Legion.
I got
it
hidden
looks so
body.
good.
I got hidden body.
It's good. You can't share it.
Nope.
You want the Undead Legion? It has a sick ass cape.
No, Parker. This will hold me.
Okay.
I need. Oh, fuck. Oh, parasite.
Yeah, what's leech?
Nothing.
It's mini locust.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a dreg sacrificer.
Who the fuck is
down here?
Is
There's
that
an
tree?
item.
Is that tree? No. Oh, Parker.
What?
It's the dead.
Oh, is that Wolnir?
Yeah, it's Wolnir.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Yo, literally, if he does the fog of him
dead.
running
We're
up
just
in that
dead.
state, we're just dead. Like, there isn't a way.
No. Fucking Christ.
That's Wolnir. I really hope we do a lot of damage to him because or else we may just be boned. Alright, let's get these chumps. Oh, Lothric War Banner!
I got nothing for that from nothing item-wise. Philanor Spear Ornament. Great Lance, Wolf Knight Armor.
Yo, that was amazing. Wolf Knight Armor is great. We're getting a lot of drip. Great Lance, pretty good. Charged heavy. I got... Hopefully I can wield it. I can't.
But the thing is, would Wolf Armor be better than the fucking Dark Knight Armor?
That's up to you.
I don't think so.
Man, the spear that I have right here
Yeah.
increases our attack and defense by like 15%, but I don't have the stats to wield it.
We're just gonna have to fucking balls this, dude.
Yeah, that's really it. What stickle is that? That's an amazing... It's not the Chantel.
Crescent Moon Sword. It's the crescent.
Use the
sword.
weapon art.
Two hand and then R2.
L2. Yo, you could shoot a projectile?
Yeah.
Aim up and try. Yo, that's sick as hell! It's like the Moonlight Sword, but a sickle.
All right, Parker.
Okay, I mean, there's no time like the present.
Yeah, no shit.
And it's a nemesis.
And he's going down.
Crazy.
Oh, this sucks. This sucks. I'm not ready for this. Oh, I'm not ready for this.
It's the Bengals.
It's the Bengals. I know it's the Bengals. Oh my god.
I almost just tried to jump like it was Elden Ring.
I'm not doing shit.
It's okay. It's gonna do pittance of damage until one of them breaks, then it's a huge chunk. This is a gimmick boss, so maybe the game will work with us.
Okay, there goes one.
Yeah?
Yeah,
See?
it works with us. There's one. He still has left hand, which left hand is sunk in the fucking ground. Mobs. Oh, and they're his level mobs too, and they're strong.
Oh yeah, they take fucking no damage. Okay. I'm dead.
Parker.
Yo, there's a bunch of skeletons on me, my dude.
Yes, I know.
This is not good. His left hand is just underground the whole time. I don't know if, like, it'll even come up.
It does. Oh, cartwheels.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, cool. So he hits his own people. Cool. Okay. You're floating in the air.
You have to go to his left hand. I'm dead. Just go to his left hand and see if you can even try to hit the bracelet. Because if you can't, there's no point.
I'm trying to take care of the mobs first, and
they
sword.
respawn, Duncan. They just keep coming back.
Oh, fucking sword swipe. I'm gonna. Ooh, this might be it. Ooh, nope, I'm alive.
See, it's underground. We can't.
God damn it.
We can't hit it.
Nope, I can. There's one. Come on.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, come on.
It was up the ground a lot more for you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's only during certain attacks. Oh, he backed his hand. There. This is our one shot.
Oh, swipe. Oh, get away from the swipe.
Okay, so we just have to buy time until he does a certain attack with his sword.
Fuck.
Yeah, you got it. It's okay. Take your time.
Come on, pull your hand up. Fucking.
That's good. He's still doing the sword attacks. That one hit's good enough. Stay alive.
Oh, and I'm out of flasks. Fuck.
There's a skeleton behind you if you don't see him. Good.
No.
It's okay. It's working.
No. Come on.
You got this.
There it is.
You have openings. Yes!
There it is. Cleric blue robe.
I got the white birch bow, so
Nice.
it wants me to be a ranged person.
That wasn't easy, but
All
it wasn't
right.
difficult.
I did see there was a couple of differences. After I died, enemy placement was different on my screen versus your screen, which may not be a big deal, but I just want to point out any inconsistencies we see along the way in case we have to restart and find out later.
Fucking Wolnir is our first
Oh
boss.
my god! We have so many souls!
I have 8,000.
Yeah, you're supposed to get about 2,000 for that fight. I have 14,000.
Oh, why do you have twice as much as I do?
I don't know. Maybe I killed a bunch of skeletons. I wasn't paying attention.
I don't fucking know.
Again, there may be inconsistencies. This is our first time trying to run this.
Yeah.
This should be a broken straight sword, but now it's...
Coiled sword and Eastern helm.
Okay, that coiled sword, you need to go to the next area, and I didn't get it.
Well, it doesn't matter as long as one of us gets it.
Stop moving.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh.
Let's fight this back. Let's do back to forward.
Stop moving. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm right here. We're gonna drop down and try to smack him.
Alright. Nope, I just... Oh my god, I almost fucking died. Fucking... Yes!
Nice work.
Maybe my spell?
Yes! I
What?
got one of my favorite spells, Spook.
Hollow gem.
I'm thinking that maybe
You're not dead.
It's completely random by everything. Everything in this game is random for both of us.
that's what I'm saying. I think it should be like us together, but that's a different thing. Don't stand by this person for
Knight.
too long.
I got
Oh, that's something else that I found out in my run is that killing a Titanite lizard,
Yeah,
they're just an enemy. They don't have an item attached to them.
correct.
So that was just that's what they said by feeble enemies. That's just a feeble enemy. Let's spend our souls. Let's look at the shop.
Yeah, I'm only
We got a
getting-
lot on the line and a lot of awkwardness to go forward.
Okay.
Oh no, she's invisible.
What?
Oh, but I can still talk to her. Okay, cool. I'm
What?
cool with that. For me, she's invisible. I think it's treating me like a
Summoner.
yeah. Oh, it's making me do the same animation in front of the handmaiden.
This
Nice.
That's sick.
dude is doing generators the entire time.
Okay.
True, but no so the law to this.
Level up.
Then take
This is still generators.
Okay. I'm gonna do that
Okay.
just in case.
Vigor
Long
to
time.
vigor till I get
Yeah.
1,000. So I can do 7 levels. So 1.
Well, look at the shop before you level up, because the shops are
Oh, yeah,
randomized.
the shops are god.
You may find something you love in the shop, or like the small Lothric banner that we have to progress. The Lothric
Fine,
straight
those
sword
levels.
and the Lothric Knight great sword are two of the best weapons in the game.
Grave Key, Small Lothric Banner, Carthus Curved Great, Great Axe, Gargoyle, Flame Hammer, Rotten Grew Spear, Flame Spear, Lothric Knight Long Spear, Bow, Sorcerer Staff, Storyteller Staff, Leather Shield, Wooden Shield, Mira Vest, Eastern Armor, Deacon Robe, Deacon Skirt, and Estus Ring. Good to know, Parker. Good to know. Stepped away.
Sorry, I had to take a breather. Can you just scroll through your inventory real quick? Oh, the Estus ring is a guaranteed buy. Get that right now. That's an easy yes.
I also have Deep Protection. I can buy Deep Protection.
That's actually a counter spell. That's not a good one. But I mean, you don't have the stats to it. The small Lothric banner you have to buy, or else we can't get past Vort. Yep.
Great. And the Great
And what's the key to left?
Great Key.
Yeah, that's helpful. That's good. Buy that. Buy a Black Firebomb. That's expensive. Buy a Black Firebomb. Yeah.
Eastern
Oh,
Armor.
and the armors don't matter. You can do whatever you want. Fashion Souls is really how we should play this.
Okay.
You got all the good stuff. Oh man, that Black Firebomb being expensive may be a sign, because you could trade the Black Firebomb to Pickle Pea and Pump Rum, and they give you an item. So maybe that's way of the game saying, like, when you buy this will be a very good item.
very well.
So now I only have 4,000 souls.
That's fine.
So that's 5 levels. So 1, 2, 3. And we'll do 2 in endurance to make it 14 vigor, 13 endurance.
Farewell, Ashen One.
So
Change your Astus Flask if you're not going to use it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, the Crescent Sword makes me do. I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, I mean it's up to you. I think it's cool. If you don't want it, see if you could drop it for me. I would love to see that. 14 strength, 14 dex, 18 dex, 14 strength.
Pretty be
18
careful.
dex, 14 strength, 18 dex, 14 strength.
You. Oh no, I have it equipped.
18 dex, 14 strength. 18 dex, 14 strength.
I wonder.
Uh-oh.
Nope. I have it equipped. Don't worry. Okay, we'll figure it out from here. Keep going.
I'm stuck.
How? Can you pull up your main menu? No.
I can exit game.
Yeah, just exit game.
Here, killer.
No!
Yeah.
Well, no, there. It stopped. You can...
Oh, you're right. It did. I don't know what you did.
I talked to her.
18, 14, yeah. Okay.
Alright. Trees.
Did you drop the crescent axe?
No.
Okay. Then I have to reshape something. Allot my Estus.
Well,
Did you talk to him? If you talk to him enough times, you get a gesture that may be randomized. It wasn't for me.
I don't think gestures are randomized.
Okay. I'm gonna say one of my favorite lines. Brady, be careful. Don't want to see me work squandered. Okay. I'm going to buy 2 of those. Oh, in your shop, are there any chimes you could buy?
I suck.
No.
Okay, then we got everything that we're going to. Let's.
Hold on.
Do you want to go forward or loot Firelink?
Here, I left the weapon. See if you can pick it up.
I can. Oh yeah! I may rock this thing.
All I
pretty
have is a
sick
fucking
looking.
lance, Parker.
Here.
Majority of the generators.
If you don't like that lance, it's a really good weapon. But if you don't like it, this is the single most versatile weapon. There, the Lothric Straight Knight Sword. If you heavy it, it has an S in strength. If you dex it, as an S in dex. If you quality it, as A in dex and strength. So you can do whatever the fuck you want with that sword.
I need 11 strength, 18 dex to wield it. I'm not quite there.
Okay. Pick whatever you got. We could run around and get a couple souls.
Yeah. All right.
Work some magic. I'm gonna do some real quick just to make sure. Okay. I have the cold sword in my inventory. I just wanted to know if I could use it.
All right. Going to tree.
Wait, before we go there, let's run around Firelink.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna go to tree.
No, there may be stuff we can give to the tree over here. The seed of the giant doesn't come down until you're invaded, and that's a percentage chance.
Item.
Come back down.
Ooh,
You don't have to make the tree jump yet.
Oh, Titanite chunk. Item.
I got Oni Slayer Great Arrows. There's a couple checks we can do. We can do the Master. We can do the Bones, which would be Homeward Bones.
Well, they should have been Homeward Bones.
Yeah, over here. It should be Homeward Bones. I'm just saying what it originally was. Oh, we didn't go high enough. Alright, that saves us for later. There's the East-West Shield. And also, for some reason, this guy up here, when I played the randomizer, dropped, like, a named weapon. Just this random NPC
Someone
up
with
there.
a mace. Black Knight. Ow! Didn't see that. I got caught.
Good night, boys.
You'll probably
Good
live.
night, Coda.
Good night.
Good night, Coda.
I got frostbite.
That just means lower stamina recovery and a bit of health loss.
Azaleth staff.
Oh, Isolith staff?
Yeah.
That's really good. If I start doing more magic, that's gonna be really good for me. This is the bones. Fire bombs, that's good.
Silver Eagle kite shield.
It's a good 100% shield, but not the best. Down here. Titanite shard.
Slave Knight leggings.
What night leggings?
Slave Knight leggings.
Ooh, that's Gale's pants.
Parker, we forgot.
Final boss. of the
No, we got.
DLC.
There's Master. Come on. Let's go see him.
Oh yeah. For me, I did absolutely no damage when I fought him before. Like, he was wearing heavier armor, but I was doing like 9 damage out of a pool of 1,000.
Oh.
Okay, that doesn't seem the drag
Ow,
dual
ow,
hammers
ow.
is gonna hurt.
5 damage a hit.
Yeah, see how we're doing fucking nothing? Okay, this
yeah.
is not a fight
No.
we're ever gonna win. Unless we want to try to kick him off the edge of the cliff, but that's
No.
you. Okay.
No.
You got the east-west shield that's up here?
No.
It's a glowy in that tree. Nope, not that far. This tree.
Okay. Hidden Blessings.
I got him,
mirror
I got
trou-
him.
Hidden Blessings mirror trousers. Did you grab it?
Ooh, hidden blessings, that's gonna be useful. See, that's why we did all this before we did the tree jump. Because that's gonna be useful for the tree jump.
I don't know if Bird gives us random items anymore. It might give us random items, not the static.
When you give it to her, it's the same items trigger it. What you get back is going to be different. At least that's how it was for me. Oh, dude, this game wants me to range. I just got Chaos Storm. Aim for the left side of the tree.
I
Once you're
know.
far up, you'll see what far up means. You have to cut right pretty hard.
I know.
Left side of the tree. Farther left side. Okay, run all the way back up to the staircase. Go to where the dead body is.
There.
You're gonna run up the left side
I
and
did
cut
it.
right. There you go.
Undead Legion Gauntlet.
Okay, we're gonna go around here. There's another guy that may be impossible to beat. Kind of like the Master. That's how it was for the Crystal Lizard that's back here. If we're doing no damage, we're just gonna run away.
Oh, it's a thief.
Oh, okay.
Refined Gem.
Okay, that's it back here. We're going back the way we came. I got a skirt. I'm gonna look real pretty.
You are pretty.
Dude, I could have a bra. I could do that. Bless you.
Palm. And then this was Dragon Chaser's Ashes.
Oh, dude, that's huge. That if it does what it says, and I don't know if it does, that unlocks all of the higher tier. Oh, I got it too. That unlocks all of the higher tier Titanite chunks and Titanite shards. Like it unlocks Twinkling, large chunks, everything.
So leave.
Um,
I remember leave the Hidden Blessing.
Yeah, leave one hidden blessing, or whatever blessing you have.
Okay, pickle P, pickle P. And then pick it up.
Yeah.
Large Titanite Shard.
You can leave multiple things at once. Leave a firebomb, if you have one, leave a homeward bone. Leave a black firebomb if you have one here.
Hold on, I don't have a homeward bone.
I'm giving you one. I'm dropping them on the ground over here. You don't have a large leather shield. You don't have a chime. And there's no way we have any of the other more specific stuff like lightning urns and...
Alright, left the firebomb.
And firebomb.
I left the firebomb and the... Yeah.
That should be everything. You don't have the shield, you don't have the chime. Everything else is consumed.
Fire
so
gem.
you should be in the clear.
Titanite chunk.
That fire, if you excuse me. I would infuse that Lothric Night Sword with fire.
I got the tower key. Okay.
I did too. Oh, we shouldn't do that. That fucks up a couple of quests.
I'm not too worried about the quests.
The quests give items.
Oh. Alright, I may not have enough to imbue this.
If not, we don't have to do it right now. It's just everything in the first like quarter of the game is super susceptible to fire.
Yeah, I need 1400. That's not too bad. Okay.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. We haven't even jumped into the game yet. This is the preamble.
Alright.
You teleport to see if we both teleport.
High wall Lothric. Yep.
Let's go.
I was about to be like, oh, I don't know. Alright.
Alright, we can take a right and get some items, just a couple checks after a couple of enemies, or we can go left and go through the rest of the game.
Items.
Okay.
Ow. Oh. Oh, that's DLC.
Who?
Guy straight ahead.
No, I think they're fine.
No,
this lady with the fire stamp, she's a part of the asylum.
that's probably what I'm thinking.
It's the place that we normally just skip and run through.
Oh. 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 No.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, these guys are really cute. If you kick them, they roll backwards. Yeah, like that. Other than that, they're from Archdragon Peak. They're super cute. Oh, I'm almost dead.
Yeah. Cartwheel skeleton. Yeah, that fucking crescent sword is doing work for you.
Oh, dude, the projectile is really great.
Evangelion.
I'd heal up.
Okay.
And I'm going to annoy her until she comes to us. Let's see if I can... Whoops! Nice!
Oh, I'm out of stam. I'm out of stam. Alright, Pillage Remains. Black Firebomb.
Nice! Oh, I could use that black firebomb if you want to drop it for me later.
That's about to say legitimately what I got 4 of them.
Oh, hell yeah, give me one!
There you go.
Nice. All right, we are gonna go get the short bow and short arrows, standard arrows. There's a lot of people up here. We may just want to run by. Your choice, though.
Well, let's see.
If you're gonna
up here.
fight, heal.
Priestess, Shrieker, regular zombie.
But one of them is going to turn into something we don't know because the Pus of Man transformation is going to be changed to a random person.
And a rat.
So just come and grab this right here.
Oh, I cannot fucking fight that.
Yeah. Oh god, I think I've made just that. Okay, get the item. Let's get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yep, I got it. Titanite and Mage.
I got a very powerful spell. I think you're going to be the Vanguard, and I'm going to be your backup wizard. I think that's what we're going to be playing this game.
Yeah, that's probably how it's going to have to be.
I don't know.
Oh, my health is declining, like shortening, very quickly.
Yeah, that's the prisoner lady, the tall lady with the iron stamp thing. Yeah, that's what she does.
Okay. Christ.
It comes out in bullets. Okay, let's see. We're good for now. Let's see if I do this. Am I fat rolling?
No.
Nope. Can I do this?
Yes, you can.
Okay, that boosts attack and damage. Attack and defense for both of us.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Fat boy, knight. Blue bug pellet.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go forward. I'm your backup.
Oh, Parker, giant rat. I do not have.
I'm gonna be looking to you for any advancement cues, for any decision making or any path finding.
Deacon, I am not doing any. I'm not doing any damage because I can't wield this correctly. Fuck it.
Can you wield?
Fuck it.
What's your strength and dex?
I can't do anything.
What's your strength and dex?
They did start a door.
Strength 10, dex 16.
Okay. We're just gonna have to grind it. We're gonna muscle through this, and then we're gonna level up your strength and dex, and we can get you some weapons. There's an item over here,
Pale pine resin.
and we're gonna go back up,
Yep.
and hopefully not anger that Lothric Knight, that Bannerman. Oh fuck, Milkwood. We're sneaking past. We're sneaking past.
Nope.
Nope. We're gonna be surprised by some people.
Large Titan side, Aquamarine dagger.
Yo, Aquamarine dagger would be sick. It's a dagger and a straight sword at the same time.
I can't do it. My faith is too low.
Oh, I've Gundir's halberd.
Fuck it, give me the halberd.
30 strength, no way.
Okay, no way.
Okay, we've got all the items. We're going to go down a secret path over here.
Not hit the fucking Ice Knight.
That Milkwood man, that fucking giant, the behemoth of a person.
Herald Helm.
It's alright. I got purging stones in case we start looking ugly. We can use those to be beautiful again.
Yes, because that's what matters.
Mira chainmail.
Soul of Deserted Corpse.
That's good looking. I mean, it's got nothing on Sunbro himself.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to go up. We're making sure our health is at a maximum.
It's
and our stamina is full. Oh, run! Just run! You triggered it. We're going. If you get burned, just dodge roll.
Ember, I got an Ember. Oh, I can do it.
You're gonna die out there. You gotta come this way, my dude.
I did it. Don't worry about me. Oh. Did you trigger the mimic?
It's a different person.
Oh.
He was already excited about it.
Dragon Slayer Great Shield, symbol of avarice.
Yo, that symbol avarice is gonna be huge for you. I got a divine braille tome, so that means I have more miracles. They want me to be back row. I'm gonna listen.
I mean, like, I should put the symbol of avarice on, but I don't think. Okay.
No,
it's
for
not-
boss fights.
Yeah.
When boss fights are coming to an end, put that on. You'll catch up quicker. Item discovery.
Titanite shard, assassin armor.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm only. Doing
I think
that.
I'm gonna stick with the sickle. Oh, watch out, back. I'm loving the magic. I love the blue fire. I like the range. I like the dancing flourishes. I'm into it.
Court sorcerer robe, cast light.
Okay, go up these stairs, and I'll find you up there.
All right. Tell me when, because I'm about to hit this bonfire.
Yeah, you can hit it.
Okay, I'm at 3,000, which is not a whole heck of a lot. Green Blossom Titanite. How many Titanite shards? 4? Okay.
Okay, how many souls you got?
3,400.
And you got some poppable ones, right?
1 for 50.
Okay. Go to your body, your status symbol. It'll tell your back, the body, the status. It tells you how much you need for a level up. You got 2 level ups in the wing. I think we should go back.
Strength definitely up 1. If I even want to use this fucking sword, but I need like 2 levels in dex.
Yeah, I think it's. You can look. I could drop you like 50 souls. Actually, I could drop you some stuff you could sell for money.
So I need dex to 18, and then I need 900 more souls. I'll sell something. I'll sell shit. It's alright, I'll sell.
Yeah, I got stuff you could sell too if you want.
Deserter Corpse is 200. I really don't need Pale Pine Resin. That's only 100.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need the spike. Only 210? Wow.
Here, I dropped a bunch of stuff if you want to sell what I'm dropping. They should be at least 100 each.
No, almost the Slave Knight leggings, I'll sell that for 200.
Well, pick these up. Pick these up. I may want those Slave Knights. In case I get Gale Sword, then I can cosplay.
Cleric
You can sell
Blue
everything in
Robe,
that pile.
Cathedral. Nameless Rotten. Silver Knight Kite now. Nameless Night Helm. Sell the Herald Helm.
Yeah. Sell anything you don't think you're immediately going to use.
That puts me at 15. That gets me the last level I need for strength.
Welcome, husband.
Good.
Very well then taken.
I am 100. I am literally 60 short.
Well, I shall.
Oh, here, I got you.
I got it.
Okay. Also, make sure you're equipping your rings. I got no rings.
I have my rings. I can give her the Umbral Ash.
Yeah, do that. Where the fuck is Ludlith?
Okay.
Okay, he's here. He's just invisible for me. Okay, cool. I'm totally cool with that.
Gargoyle Flame. Karthus Blood Ring. For 1,500.
Ashen one.
And I got Acid Surge.
Blood Ring is not really worth it for you.
Welcome.
If you go to the top of Fire Link, up these stairs, there's Ring Finger. He'll give you a random item.
Farewell, Ashen one.
It's kind of a shame that the Umbral Ashes don't give you all of the upgrade items.
Okay.
Shivering Stone!
I
could
can
use that.
I can have used my sword correctly now.
Excellent.
All right,
You're
to the
gonna be
very top.
fucking wisdom. Ooh, Karthus Rogue. Unlimited
Where?
and gold pine button. Okay. I'm getting some good drops. I'm liking where I am.
So where am I supposed to go? I'm
I will show you after I buy this.
tree side.
Uh, no, not that way. To the thrones. To the thrones.
Oh. So now I can actually do some damage now that I have my fucking stats to wield
Oh,
this weapon.
I think you'll see a very mark. Yeah, go all the way up. All the way up.
I'm doing instead of 14 or 15, and then talk to them.
Yep, this is ring finger.
Pillage. What else?
Nope.
Oh, keep mashing it. He'll probably give you one thing. He gave me something.
It's the same.
You
it's the
exhausted
same
dialogue?
Yeah. So it works for
All
both
right,
of
then.
us.
A shame.
Okay. Okay. Do your levels.
I think I'm good. I don't think I can. Fuck, you gotta talk to her. I'm stuck here.
Welcome. Very well, then take.
Okay, that's good to know going forward. I can't not do that unless you do it.
Travel. Tower on the wall.
Yeah.
This is fun. The fact that it's just like a new game every time.
Oh, dude, I'm so here for it. Oh, I got a symbol of avarice! I'll take that! I'm not gonna put it on until we beat a boss. Hell fucking yes. You go for it. I'm following you. I have a bad habit of just speedrunning the game, and I want to follow you through this delightful
Okay,
adventure.
I do 60 a swing now. Ow.
Oh, fuck yeah. You're crushing it. Oh, can we go back this way?
Yeah.
Making sure you killed that man down below. And if you have, I'm gonna go and get all of these
There's no body. There's
items.
no one down here.
Okay, then I killed them for both. Oh yeah? Sorry. Yeah.
Parker. I don't know why I didn't make that jump. Okay. Trigger dragon.
Okay.
Sounds like he got triggered. Nope, it's not.
We can only play for a tiny bit longer. I lost track of the time,
Okay.
and I have to be quiet, and there's no way in my current setup that I can put headphones on.
Alright, then do you want to just call it here?
Let's do... Let's do two things. We're gonna get these items. Let's get these items and then at least get near Vort. Unlock the shortcut. We'll unlock the shortcut, and that'll be our end place.
Okay. Of course, it's fucking rubbish.
I mean, it was a death run. I was trying to get both.
Undead Hunter Charms, too.
Those will be helpful later. It's a secret tool that we'll use later. Whoops.
Alright, I survived.
Okay, you can go back to the bonfire.
Nope,
I'm gonna
everything's
get
gonna
that item
respawn.
if it's the last thing that I do.
Before you go to bed, you need to turn off the water outside.
It is off.
I'm good with the item.
The water for the power washer?
It
How
could
do
be
you
the,
turn
the
that off?
dual great
I know.
swords from the
Promise
DLC.
you,
It could be
Oh,
anything.
okay.
Still going. I'll keep
Okay.
it.
Come on,
I'm
Papa.
gonna get it. I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna get it. Oh, a sharp gem. I'll take that. That's a victory.
Fuck yeah.
All I need is a Cell Sword Twin Blades, and I'm good for the rest of the run.
Yeah, no shit.
Okay, I'm coming back. We're gonna progress through.
Nothing just
We're gonna drop down here. We're gonna jiggle the door handle so it tells us it's locked. And then we're gonna fight what a freak this is. Oh, a hidden drag. Watch out. Okay. There's some free items over here,
Okay.
but
And he's red.
yeah, this guy. If you do strong attacks, you can just unlock him. Ooh, I got a really good ring.
Titanite shard. Raw gem.
I got a ring that boosts dexterity if you ever need it. That beauty over there is Grey Rat. It's going to be a long time until we find his key. A long, long time. Which kind of is going to ruin his whole quest line, but we will just cross that bridge when we get there. He has a shop that expands multiple times, which may lock us out of a bunch of items, which is going to hurt. We walked upon an immortal man. Okay. Oh, there's an item over here I forget about every time.
Good night, Bailey.
Ooh, I got an Eastern Helm.
Large soul of an unknown traveler. Sigbrew. Millwood Great Arrow.
This was supposed to be a
Millwood
Titanite.
Battle Axe.
Oh yeah, it did give us one of the things.
Priestess Ring. You dropped all the way down? No.
I got an Ember. Sorry, I can't hear you much.
Titanite
I have to keep it
shard.
down.
Possession
I
rebuff.
can hear you better now. Hello.
Hello. Let's say I don't have
Man,
that
you're a
much,
crusher.
Ooh, what happened there? Titanite shard. I'm getting a lot of fucking Titanite shards.
Good. Upgrade your weapon.
Large Titanite shard.
There's what used to be a lance guy is now a guru.
Transposing kiln.
That's huge. That unlocks all the boss weapons. That unlocks a whole new shop for you. That's gonna be huge.
Wolf. Oh, he went straight for fucking you.
Yeah, what's up, winter dog?
He straight up bypassed me. Chest. And Paladin's Ashes.
I also got Paladin's Ashes.
Heavy Gem.
I got nothing.
Oh.
You alright?
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming for us. Nice. Amazing backstab. One person to our right, one person behind us.
Split it.
Uh-oh, it's a bad person behind us.
What's behind us? Oh! Oh, fuck.
Yeah, he just got me.
Oh, he just straight up got you?
Yeah, get the item on the anvil or what's down. Just pick up items. If you die, you die.
I picked up the item. Ooh, okay.
You could try to take him.
I can try.
He's got a harsh moveset, but you could try.
Nope. Get out.
Oh, you're doing so good. You're doing well to be
Right there.
defensive.
Come on. I got greedy. Oh, you get greedy. Ooh.
Don't fear. I am here to save the day.
Got him.
Oh, you got him.
Large size
You're a
shot.
hero. And there's an item down the stairs.
Underneath the stairs.
I got the transposing kill.
Nice.
Yo,
Tight
we
shot.
are fucking crushing this. Before we go down this way, we're gonna go all the way back up in a secret direction to the left. You have so few souls. I don't know why I have 1 billion more souls than you.
Refined gem and black fireball.
I have 16,000 souls.
I have 4,000. Hood of Prayer, budding green blossom.
I got Blessed Weapon. I got a couple good things there, but other than that, just some basic stuff. I got Prism Stones that we're going to share. And then roll behind you. There's an enemy and a drop.
Okay, nice shard.
Pretty good.
Alright, I'm full on
There's
health.
an enemy here. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's a
Lord Soul.
good pickup.
Okay.
Oh, we can take him.
Farron Cole, Ragged Mask.
Good. Farron Cole is huge. That means you could sharp a weapon. And heavy a weapon. So you could go full strength if you want.
Yeah, I only got 40 souls from that kill.
I didn't see how much I get. I'll see you next time. This is... Actually, let's kill these people up here and let's see what we get. Because I have not adjusted ever the amount of souls I get in one of these games.
30.
I got 30. I got 124.
Philonor Spear Ornament. No.
I got Dark Drift, which is pretty good. I need to be quiet.
Alright. Alright, let's head back to a bonfire and call it for here for the night, Parker. Before we progress further.
Sorry, what was that?
Bonfire and call it a night.
Come back down this way, because you don't have much health. We're about to be at the shortcut. We literally got every item in a clean sweep. There's 3 items ahead of us. And 4 enemies we actually have to deal with, a little bit more that we don't have to. Ow! You prick. You invisible prick.
No, guy with the a spear. Carthus shield, round shield. And then Twinkling Titanite.
I didn't get either of those, but that's fine. This is one of the drops I was talking about.
Dung pile.
And this is the other.
And Ember.
All pretty good. I dropped down. And we're going to just run up where we just were. There's a quick pickup item to our left if we hook around. Don't stay for too long or you'll get eaten alive.
Pestilent Mist. Oh, fuck.
Whoops. Oh, I'm glad you joined.
Yeah.
I accidentally stepped on that. There's another item that's usually throwing daggers up here, and then we get to open the door.
Old Sorcerer Gauntlets.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Okay, and this is the shortcut
Alright.
back to our bonfire if we do a U-turn. Whatever you do, just sit at the bonfire and let's go spend our souls.
I can't.
Oh, enemies are too close. We have to kill this guy.
And Firelink.
I don't know what it is or why I'm getting so many more souls than you.
I don't know.
We seem to be getting the same amount. Maybe like a boss is double counting for me or something.
Right here.
I really don't know. 17,000 is exorbitant.
Very well, then take it.
I only have 1. So I only have 2, so I'll do 1 in health and 1 in stamina.
Well, Ashen One made
Alright, spend your shit.
Yeah.
Welcome home, Ashen One. Speak thine heart's desire.
I got so many levels. You have to touch her for me.
Very well, then taken.
Thank you. I have a lot of levels. I'll just do health. I can't go wrong with full health.